So, the Zenfone Max Pro M2, huh? Apparently, this successor to the Zenfone Max Pro M1 will definitely blow our minds and change the way we look at mobile gaming. Hence, they call it the next generation of mobile gaming. In this video, I will share my honest opinions about the Max Pro M2 and the most asked questions. Will you buy it? Let's find out. In case you don't know, the Asus Zenfone Max Pro 2 is a more powerful successor to the M1 with more powerful specs than ever. The M1 was a breakthrough for mobile gamers by featuring a Snapdragon 626 processor, big memory up to 6 gigs of RAM, and 64 gigs of storage, a bigger battery that is over 5000 mAh, and for the first time, Zenfone users can enjoy pure Android experience. That's right, this is the first time Asus has installed the stock Android OS without the Zen UI on the M1. I think that's important because Asus knew what was coming, an influx of smartphones with pure Android experience, all thanks to stock Android. Though, the Max Pro M1 is not an Android One device, so yeah. Now back to the M2. The design of this phone is really aesthetic to my taste because it really stands out from all these gradient gang smartphones. I said that because a lot of Androids are getting into these gradients on their glass back cover. The Max Pro M2's, however, is plastic, but it reflects like glass. Maybe that's because the back has 60 layers of weight finishing, which kind of reminds me of the Oppo A7. Also, I forgot to mention that the back is actually made of acrylic or something. Well, that's the reason why it feels a little bit more aesthetic than the previous one, the M1. But anyways, moving on. And now the display. The display is way bigger than the M1 with 83.1% screen to body ratio, and yes, it's got a notch. But from what I heard, the notch is quite smaller than the Redmi Note 6 Pro and it's getting closer to the Mi 8 Lite. A small notch sounds like a good idea because not all people having big notches in their phones. Of course, it's their own opinions. We always have our own. Let it slide. Small notches gives more room for notification icons, and it doesn't look like the phone had cancer on top of the head. You know, the top part of the phone. At least Asus will provide the option to hide the notches like what most mid-range screen notches do. Unfortunately, right now, you can't hide the notch, which is quite bad, but we'll get too used to it until Google will find a way to solve this problem because it's a stock Android, there's no settings to hide the notch. But Google will say that they will try to find a way soon. Moving on. Now I've finished talking about the design, the display, and everything in between. Let's get to the brief comparison between the M1 and the new M2. Both phones has a big 5000 mAh battery and the same stock Android interface, but the Zenfone Max Pro M2 has a more powerful processor, the Snapdragon 660 with AI engine. which is better than the M1's 626. The GPU is also updated too to Adreno 512, a slight upgrade from the M1's 509. Speaking of battery, yes, it does support quick charging thanks to its Snapdragon's quick charge quirk. For memory, that's a different story. Previously, the M1 was available with 3 types of RAM options, from 3GB to 6GB, and 2 sizes of storage, the 32 and the 64GB, with a maximum option of 6GB with RAM and 64GB of storage. The Max Pro M2 will be different. This time, it will not only offer both the 32 and the 64GB of storage, but it will now have 128GB of storage with up to 6GB of RAM. However, only half part of the Asian region and even the Europeans will get the 128GB model. It is now confirmed that the Zenfone Max Pro M2, the 128GB storage version, will be available in Russia, and it will cost for around 17,990 Russian rubles. That's around $200. Of course, in other countries, we'll still get the usual 64/6 model that is the 64GB of storage and 6GB RAM. But let's hope Asus will be definitely adding the 128GB version on the next model, at least not in Russia, will be everywhere else. However, you can extend it with a microSD card up to 2TB of storage. Also, I like how Asus preferred triple slot SIM trays than the absolutely horrid hybrid SIM trays like some other mid-ranges. For the camera, the M2 decided to give it a little boost. Previously on the M1, you have 2 options, either the 13 megapixels for the 3GB and the 4GB of RAM model, or the 60 megapixels for the 6GB. Now the M2 had decided that 12 megapixels will be considered okay, with 5 megapixels as a secondary camera. Both phones have dual camera setup, but the M2 has packed with new Sony IMX486 sensor, HDR support, and 3-axis EIS, or electronic image stabilization, which improves the camera a little bit more from its predecessor. Also, you can now record up to 4K, but the EIS will be disabled at this point. The Max Pro M2 will use Corning Gorilla Glass 6 display protector, which will be a big leap from what Asus is using now, an unspecified version of Gorilla Glass. So I'm guessing either Gorilla Glass 3 or 4 or maybe 5. Since the M1 has possibly the unspecified version of Gorilla Glass, I think the M2 will be a bigger improvement over the M1 because the Gorilla Glass 6 is considered the strongest of all Gorilla Glasses, and Asus is the first to use it on their phone. Yep, the first of its kind. You know what's the same? Biometric unlocking, 4K video recording, and 4G LTE connection. And yes, like any other mid-range performance brands, the M2 still uses the micro USB port instead of USB-C, which isn't that big of a deal because almost every mid-rangers from various brands still stuck using the micro SD, and the high-range flagship like the Zenfone 5Z has USB-C. But yeah, I think USB-C isn't really that important because sooner all mid-range phones will have the USB-C port, and when the USB-C is becoming more popular, they'll start using them on their phones. The only mid-range I know that uses this port was the Mi 8 Lite or the Nokia X6. Now the price tag. By the time I wrote the script for this video, I couldn't figure out how much it will cost when it comes out, but what I do know that it would be the same as the Zenfone Max Pro M1, the 6GB model, or in between the Xiaomi Mi 8 Lite, the Realme U1, and the Honor 8X. But after it was announced, I was a bit half-right, so let's just clear it up for you. For the model with 3GB of RAM and 32GB of storage, it'll cost less than the Redmi Note 6 Pro. The model with 4GB of RAM and 64GB of storage will be a little less than the Realme 2 Pro, and the 6GB of RAM and 64GB of storage model will be less than the Mi 8 Lite. At least it's a bit closer than the Honor 8X. That's up to you. Well, with a lot of phones with the same price range, but I think the M2 will definitely be a better value for money for me. With higher specs than the M1, it's obvious that the price range will be different from it used to, but I guess it'll stay the same since this is a mid-range gaming phone. The phone did get released on December 11, 2018 Southeast Asia wide. Even Russia gets their own unit earlier. On that same day, the long-awaited ROG phone will also be launched here, this very country. You know what I'm talking about. Well, we'll talk about the RG phone later when it launches next month. So what's my final verdict on the Zenfone Max Pro M2? Well, I gotta tell you this. A balanced combination of performance, design, and power with everything a mainstream mobile gamer has ever wished for, the Zenfone Max Pro M2 will be a better alternative to what people think it's better. If I can describe it in a few words, great design, reasonably priced, and packed with power, performance, and perfection. Worth getting in for a lot of reasons, at least for mainstream gamers like you. Anyways, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, go like this video and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this in the near future. See you later.